Welcome to Wildly Capable with Kate, a podcast made for those looking to unleash their wildest capabilities. I'm your host, Kate DeRocher, a dating, relationship, and self-worth coach on a mission to help people build better relationships, starting with the one they have with themselves. In each episode, we'll dig deep, turn inwards, and embark on a transformative journey. Together, we'll break free from unhealthy patterns, rip through self-limiting beliefs, heal past wounds, and build unwavering self-worth, all to create healthier relationships as a result. Get ready to explore the wild, untapped potential within you. Are you ready to see just how wildly capable you are? Subscribe now and join us on this empowering adventure. Remember, your wildest capabilities await. Join me as I attempt to make a new recipe for dinner tonight. So I have been growing my own herbs for the past few months, and for whatever reason, basil is pretty much the only thing that's working. So I have a ton of basil that I'm constantly trying to figure out what to do with. So every couple of days, I will Google recipes to make with basil that aren't just pesto. And so what came up tonight is, I'm reading from my screen, better than takeout sweet Thai basil chicken. I love Thai food. I have most of the ingredients, so let's do this. Now what I just realized, while I'm doing all this, I could be giving you guys some tips and wisdom and perspectives on dating and relationships, and I can totally turn this into like a whole series. So let me think about what I want to talk to you guys about. I want to talk to you about attachment styles. If you know me, if you've been following me for a while, you know I love studying relationships, like the actual psychology behind relationships and how they work, and love and friendships. And to me, it's much more than just this thing that we experience as humans. There's an actual psychology and even a science behind a lot of it, which I find to be fascinating. And that's why I got into being a dating coach. Please hold. I'm back. But when it comes to attachment styles, so I see so many people with every type of attachment style, but especially with anxious attachment styles. And I think that's because people with anxious attachment styles, they are very, very aware that they want love, they want a relationship. And somebody with an avoidant attachment style often wants that too, but they are avoidant, so they avoid it. They are scared of it, love terrifies them. Where somebody with an anxious attachment style runs towards it, even though half the time it ends up completely annihilating them. So that's why I think I end up working with people who have an anxious style more so than people who, first guy, terrible catcher, more so than people who have an avoidant style, because people with an avoidant style don't realize they even have something going on that is harming their dating life. But anyway, that's a side note. So I'm going to talk about anxious attachment style right now, and then tune back in for more random recipes to talk about the others. The anxious style, when you have an anxious attachment style, when somebody pulls away from you, or you sense a shift in their energy, or they use a different tone, or they don't text you back in a timely manner, it really upsets you. It really triggers something deep within you. It triggers an attachment wound, is what we call it. And it feels like torture. It feels really, really painful to have that triggered. And when it's triggered, you tend to do things to try to self-soothe. So you try to, basically what's happening is you feel like you've lost the connection with that person. You feel like they are not interested, they're gone, they don't want to talk to you, whatever it is. So you do whatever you can to try to regain that connection. That is your method of self-soothing. You do things like calling them a bunch, or texting them over and over. Oh my, what is going on? Or, doing like stupid things like driving past their house, or pretending like you meant to text somebody else, but you texted them. So many sorry, I shouldn't call them stupid. They're just silly little things that we do. And we do that to make ourselves feel safe again. It's not because you are crazy. It is because you are triggered Something from your childhood or from the past is being brought up inside you. And so you are doing anything you can to not feel that pain. Your brain is actually trying to protect you. You're not crazy. 1 second, the chicken, I kind of forgot about it. We're actually okay. It doesn't look too bad. So you start to do what's called a protest behavior, which is the texting, the calling, you're freaking out. And you are trying to regain connection with that person so you feel safer again. 1 second, what is my next direction? Cashews. I need to cut cashews. 1/2 cup raw cashews. Got them? And oftentimes what happens is when you do those protest behaviors, you are doing them in an attempt to comfort yourself, but it does the exact opposite. It actually causes you to create a self-fulfilling prophecy, and the thing that you are so afraid of, losing this person or this person leaving you, you tend to create, you tend to cause to happen, because nobody wants to be called 30 times. Nobody wants you to show up at their house unannounced. It is uncomfortable and can feel threatening and all the things. So when you do it, you end up accidentally pushing that person away when all you were trying to do was create closeness. Your intentions were just to protect you. They were not bad intentions. It's just the method in which you went about it damaged you and that relationship. 1 second, now Storm needs light in. Oh. Come on in, my angel. Good girl. Okay. So if you are somebody who exhibits protest behaviors, if this sounds like you, first of all, you're not crazy, you're not alone, you're not doing those things because you don't know any better, because you're dumb, or because you're crazy, like I keep saying. You're doing it, hang on, I need to rinse the food processor. You're doing it because it's what your brain and your body has done in the past to make you feel safe. So your brain is doing what it's supposed to do. Your brain is trying to protect you. It just turns out that you don't need it to protect you in that way anymore. When your attachment style is triggered, when that person either is actually pulling away or you are just perceiving that they're pulling away and they're not, they're just busy at work, they're having a bad day or something, what do? Instead of turn to those damaging protest behaviors? What you do is you sit with it. I know, not the answer you want, but you have to sit with the discomfort of what you're feeling in order to get past it. You have to actually allow yourself to completely feel that discomfort. And trust me, I get it. I have had an anxious attachment style, so I know what I'm talking about when I say that it is not fun to have to sit with those difficult feelings. My phone is twisting. Please hold while I grind this. Perfection. But the only way to get through it and to not cause any more difficulties in your relationship or for yourself is to sit with it. So you have to quite literally fight your urge to reach out, to freak out, to do harmful things, and instead draw a bubble bath, call a friend, go on a walk, do whatever you can to get your mind off of it until that attachment wound, that trigger, starts to subside. And you have to do it over and over and over again every time you feel triggered, because that is how you heal. By creating new patterns, your brain creates new pathways that it will start to follow. Right now, it's following the pathways that that your brain thinks is best for you, because it's all it's ever known. It's what you keep doing. So it feels, your brain perceives that as being thinking it's what it's supposed to do, is do those protest behaviors. When in reality, it's only causing more harm. And so you have to give your brain something better to do. You have to teach your brain, you have to quite literally retrain your brain to choose healthier options. Okay, please hold. I for sure need to check this chicken. Okay, so technically I was supposed to use ground chicken for this recipe, and I didn't read properly, so I'm just going to take the chicken breast that I just made, and I'm just going to cut it up. Who cares? But anyway, the way to heal your anxious attachment style is to not give into it. The way to heal your anxious attachment style is to sit with the discomfort, with the difficult feelings that you're experiencing, and to not act on them. It will be hard at first. It will feel like hell at first. But every time you don't give in, every time you choose something healthier, something better, your brain learns, wow, oh my gosh, I am not in the same situation that I was in when I was a little kid and somebody did abandon me. I'm actually an adult now, and I can't be abandoned because I won't abandon myself. When we're kids, we can be abandoned. We have needs that we can't provide for ourselves. When we are adults, we can take care of ourselves. We can take care of our own needs. We can give to ourselves everything that we are hoping that other person gives to us. So there is no such thing as abandonment when we're adults. You can provide for your own needs, most people. So you have to learn to give to yourself the exact things that you're hoping the other person will give to you, not reach out to get them to give those things to you. Instead, give them to yourself, sit in the discomfort, and allow your brain to see that you're not a little kid anymore. You are not unsafe anymore. You are in an environment and in a body where you are safe to work through difficult things and then do it. I know I'm making it sound like it's so, here's step 1, 2, and 3. It's not like that. It is much harder. It really does take time and effort. It took a lot of work for me. Like before I was with my now fiance, I had to do a lot of healing work to work through these things. But then when I was in the relationship with him, once we started dating, there was more work to do. And there probably will be more work to do no matter how much healing you do while you're single, because our relationship trauma is healed in relationships. You can heal so much outside of relationships, but once you are in that relationship, your fears, your trauma, your insecurities, your bad behaviors, your unhelpful patterns, your ways of thinking, it'll all be brought to light 1,000,000 times more. And as a result, you will have to face yourself all over again, do that healing all over again. As that's heating up, I do also want to say, while it is your responsibility to work through your attachment wounds, if you are with somebody, if you are with a partner who triggers your attachment wounds over and over, and especially somebody who does it not out of ignorance or unawareness, but does it to be malicious and does it to actually hurt you and to make you upset and to mess with you, first of all, it's not just your fault. It is not just on you that your attachment style is being triggered. It's never your fault. It's coming from old wounds, oftentimes from our childhoods. But what I'm saying is you need to understand that in those situations, I don't want you to just keep fighting through your own triggers. I want you to do that. I want you to heal your attachment style. But I also want you to realize that that person is not safe. That person is triggering your attachment wounds over and over and over to the point where you're not okay, to the point where you are so just upset and acting out and doing things that you wouldn't normally do. So if that is happening, if you're experiencing that, if it has gone past the level of, you're just fighting your own demons, you need to get out. You need to seek help. You need to get out of that relationship and find somebody who will care for your attachment wounds the same way that you will for theirs. You need to find somebody who will respect you and do things to make you feel safer, because that exists. I had an anxious attachment style before and during being with Bobby. And while with Bobby, even though I was doing the work myself, he was a good, healthy partner who met me where I was at and who did little things like send me voice memos as he was driving home, or called me at the end of the night, or updated me on what he was doing on a fairly, normal basis, so I wouldn't have to feel unsafe. A healthy partner will do that for you. A healthy partner will help you heal while you are also doing your part to heal. I just want to say that if you are being triggered too much and unnecessarily, if your attachment style is coming out in an unhealthy way, a way that is unmanageable, you need to get out of that relationship. That is not your person, and there's healthier out there. Back to the chicken. That is my dating message for the day as I make this recipe. I feel like I'm missing something, but it is what it is. All right. I hope this recipe and my attachment style wisdom helps somebody listening to this, and I hope that my Thai basil chicken is actually really good. Bye, guys.